This video is about returning a limited amount of data depending on how big your SQL is. So normally we have a select anything from my table, and I can join, and I've got a where and all sorts of things. But now in AppWizard we don't necessarily want to return millions of records. So because it takes time, it is very slow. So what we'll have is, normally if we do a select like this, we hope that the user types in values that will only return him 10 or 20 records. But what if there's like 50 million records and he types in the wrong join or the wrong filter? All of a sudden AppWizard is trying to return 10 million records. The guy's going to wait for a long time, and eventually it's going to time out. And because he thinks he forgot to press the button, he's going to press it again and again and again, because it's taking forever to get to him, not realizing that every time he's asking this, it's trying to send him a download of a 100 meg file to show him all his 10 million records that he's looking for. So we need to limit the user in only showing, or limit the SQL to only show a limited amount of records. Now there's a couple of ways of doing that. The easiest and simplest way of doing that is to say, I want to return the top 100 records. So what that will do is, depending on what it gets me, it will return me the first 100 records and then stop. And we can make that number anything, 10, 20, 30, 500, doesn't matter, but the top 100 values. And it's also a very good practice when you are just selecting a table to see what its structure is or what type of data is in there, to do a top 10 or a top 20, so that you don't wait forever for your records to appear. The second way of doing this is, if we want to now show him all 10 million his records, but we want to show him 100 at a time. So the way to do that is, we first insert these values into a temp table, okay, with whatever field values I want in there. And then we don't just insert the first top 100, we insert everything into my temp table, okay. And part of my temp table, when I create my temp table, I'm doing this upside down now, so let's say this happens actually at the top there. When I create my table, just make that hash because it's a temp table, what I will do is I will add a sequence number int identity 1,1 primary key to my table, and there will be field 1 and so on. So I will actually add a sequence number into it. So that is the first step I'll do, is I'll create my table with an identity. When I insert it, it will insert the records in the sequence or in the order. So if I have an order by in my query, it will insert it in the order that I've selected it into my query, and my sequence number will start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for that range, or for the numbers that are put in that sequence. So now when I select at the end of it from my temp table, I will select it, and in my where I will say select it where my sequence number is greater than 100 or greater than 1 and less than 200 or less than 100, and only show the records that they need to show. And the sequence number will be used as a parameter that's sent to my stored procedure. So if I say click show me the next 200, it will say, okay, the sequence number needs to start at 100 and then come through from there.